After you've worked in your pajamas all day, it gets old after a while, right?
Unfortunately, we were unable to raise any funds, but we had planned for a physical workspace also.
Our head of finance works from Bangalore. Our head of sales works from Delhi. Technology, we're hiring largely in Hyderabad.
How are you talking to your people? How are you managing to get things done internally? And that was a topic that was totally off my mind because we've been doing this for a few years now.
With COVID upon us, do you think all the things that we just talked about would uh, kind of apply to working from anywhere?
You mean the benefits of Goa, would they apply elsewhere? Yeah, absolutely. So I was just actually chatting with, I have some friends in Coorg, and they were telling me about these guys who've set up internet in a coffee farm. So
Okay.
people can come work from there, right? So I think you are going to see that more and more people realize that, especially knowledge workers, that they don't all have to be in the city, right? They don't have to be in the same office, right? But what goes, so it's definitely possible from a infrastructure, quality of life, these kinds of reasons, right? And even before COVID, we saw so many people like moving here, delivery as an office here, a bunch of others. Uh, but the infrastructure and the practicality is not the only thing. You also have your organizational dynamics and the culture and so on, right? So companies are making different choices, but it's definitely feasible. It's definitely feasible.
How is this helping with your manpower? Like, is hiring becoming better, or I'm guessing retention is obviously better, like Varun mentioned. But to get good talent to come in, be it
Yeah.
technology, or are Goans coming back to Goa and saying, "Oh, now I can see two, three companies here who I could potentially work with, even though it may not pay me the same, kind of money I would earn in Bangalore or Pune or anywhere else. I still get the opportunity to work, closer to home with my parents, whatnot." What are the kind of trends that you see?
So while we moved to Goa, it wasn't that we envisioned our head office in its entirety being Goa, right? So about a third of our people continued to work from Delhi. In fact, for a few months, I was working out of Bombay, for personal reasons. And today, for example, our head of finance works from Bangalore. Our head of sales works from Delhi. Technology, we're hiring largely in Hyderabad. Now, many of the people that we've spoken to have actually moved to Goa, and they find it attractive about the company that it's an option for them. Like our head of HR moved from Bombay to Goa partly because he was sick of Bombay, right? So we are able to attract more talent in some case, but I think the bigger impact has been we actually now have access to a pan-India talent pool because with 27 locations we were already building that muscle of working remotely, right? Uh, so earlier this year, we made these decisions about sales and tech and so on. Where let's go where the talent is, you know. So I would today consider ourselves like hiring on a pan India level anyway, right? With or without COVID.
Um, a lot of things that I heard during COVID was from other people was how are you talking to your people? How are you managing to get things done internally? And that was a topic that was totally off my mind because we've been doing this for a few years now. So that was not the topic on my mind. The topic on my mind was how the physical safety of people and running off our physical locations, running a business of social collaboration in times of social distancing. Those were the things I was thinking about, not thinking about how do we work, because that's how we've been working. We use video conferencing, we use calls, we're structured, we document things. We don't rely on just sitting next to each other and having that conversation to get things done.